intellectual nonsense.
There's so many things that, like, just the fallout of it, right? And it's like, is it happening? Is it not? And it's just the threat of it. And are they playing a longer game? What do they want, right? And that's
I'll
just
give you
how
my
I'm like,
prediction. I'll give you my two predictions on this. One
okay,
is he's going to put these tariffs on April 2nd. They're going to last for about 3 months. He's going to realize that he screwed up the entire global trade, screwed up the entire American playbook, and is costing the Americans tons of money. And he's going to take them off. That is prediction one. That's if you were to ask me what I think is going to happen, that's what I think is going to happen. What I also think is a possibility, which would be my second prediction, is the rest of the world throws tariffs back on the US, isolates them. We Canada, along with the EU, Australia, New Zealand, Thailand, China, all start trading together.
mm-hmm.
And the US cuts themselves out. And they run into a position where they say they don't need anything, which is fine. But all of a sudden you have no overseas cars coming. So everyone that likes those BMWs and whatever the overseas cars that were coming in, you can't buy those anymore. Anybody that was buying, I'm trying to think of another good example of stuff, TVs, electronics, everything that was made in China. All of a sudden, it's very expensive in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
and you can't get the new technology, and you're paying way more for it. But all of us over in Canada, we might have lost some jobs, our GDP might have went down, but we're still getting all of this stuff. We're getting the Puma golf shirts still. We're
Mm-hmm.
still getting all of this. And the US is only getting what they can make internally, which I'm saying all this because they're going to run out. They're a consumer nation. You can't all of a sudden build a car plant and produce 1.76 million more cars overnight. That's how many
Like, just
cars
out of
Canada
thin
produced in
air,
2023, by
basically,
the way.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you like it doesn't work that way. Like you like let's put this, we're building a battery plant right near us. It's been going on for
Mm-hmm.
2 years. They're still 2 years away.
Yeah.
He can't just all of a sudden, okay, let's build this tomorrow. We're gonna waive all the red tape, the regulations, and build it.
Mm-hmm.
It's still gonna take you, it's gonna take you 20 years to build the capacity that Canada and Mexico provides to you, all while being short. And this isn't even talking about the agriculture aspect in the potash, which is his biggest thing. They're gonna lose out on food products. They're just not gonna be able to buy food. You're gonna have empty shelves in the grocery store.
So I think probably that first prediction is the one that I think is probably the most plausible, right? Where it's like, oh, like, this is actually hurting us way more than anyone else, right? Where you might even get that kind of public pushback from people going like,
That's
this
what's
is
gonna happen.
ridiculous. Like, we're getting, fucked here. And,
Yeah.
if we're over here going like, yeah, I mean, we can still get our shit. And like the way that you described it is something that I've never had it explained like that before, where it's like, okay, that does make sense. Where it's like, yeah, there's going to be a lot of crap, but like even just saying like, yeah, we might actually get more stuff just based on they're not, companies aren't going to want to go to the US because of these things. That's something that technically, would be kind of the silver lining of it. But I do agree. I think it's just something where it's like, I don't know if it's going to be like a thing that's going to last forever. Like it's going to
Well,
probably come to pass at one point where and they're not small taxes, right? That's big numbers where that trickle down effect. I mean, over here, we felt it with that carbon tax with a lot of things with groceries and gas and stuff. And it's like, yeah, we can still exist, but like the amount, like this is on everything. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah.
that's something where like even going across the border now, you come back and they're like pulling you in, making you pay it, and it's like, oh my, all right, well, I'm not going to go over there and buy shit anymore. I'm just going to stay here, right? And I'm going to spend money on
Well,
our
that's it.
economy, I guess.
And,
But
and what's funny is, see, this brings me to my point is there's people, and we live in a border city, and there's people going, I'm not going to go there. No one in Windsor should
yeah, you
travel
will.
and buy stuff. They're going to feel it. And my argument to that is, dude, they won't. Us being the consumer and going over to their Kroger or their Meijer, they could care less. That has no bearing on the situation. And Canadians need to realize this. Us not buying products over there, who cares? The way that it's going to hurt them is all of a sudden they have to spend more on their own products.
Right.
That's what's
It's
going to
not
hurt.
us spend.
Because
It's
I
not
think
us doing it. Yeah.
correct,
Yeah. That's
correct.
interesting. It's
And
it's
and I
just yeah. Go ahead.
No, and I was going to say, I think the other thing people just realized because there's a Buy Canada movement, especially in grocery stores right now, and I'd ask you this because you probably never paid attention to this. You might have. You walk around the grocery store. Did nobody realize before that 95% of our grocery store is products made in Canada to begin with?
Mhm.
like, like
Yeah, well,
this
that's
is why Trump
something.
is, hold on. This is why Trump is complaining about our dairy and all of our agriculture is because
I've lost you
until they
again.
walked down the
Oh,
store and
there
saw
you
a
go.
Canadian flag next to every freaking product on the shelves.
Well, that's the thing now is I've seen it on the shelves where it's like they have the Canadian flag and it's like it's all over the place. And it's like, okay, I mean, I'm still getting this stuff, so it's not that big of a
Yeah.
deal. But um, yeah, it's interesting. It sucks, but it's something that you obviously people need to know. But it's just again, you've talked about like with a lot of politics, it's just misinformation or missing information, I guess. And then different sides
Nothing.
of it. You see the American side, the Canadians, and it's so jumbled where it's like a lot of people probably don't know what to think. Like I'm just going to stay out of it. We'll see what happens because a lot of people
Yeah.
feel like I don't have the power to do anything.
Yeah. And I'll end it and I'll kind of end the conversation with this. I can talk about this for hours.
Mhm.
But the other thing I don't think people realize, and I'm gonna go back to the whole Bud Light thing too, because this was like the starting point for me of people, oh, I'm not gonna buy Bud Light because of what they did, right? Actually, that was
Mhm.
2 years ago maybe.
Yeah.
And then I'm with somebody who goes, I hate Bud Light, I'm never drinking that again. And then he orders a Stella. And I'm looking at him going
Same
like,
company.
okay, dude, yeah, it's still Budweiser. Like,
Yeah.
at least if you're gonna do this, understand what you're doing. And I'm saying this because now we're in a movement where people are like, don't buy Lay's potato chips. And I'm sitting here going, okay, are we not buying Lay's potato chips because we think it's American? Because I can tell you right now, every bag of Lay's potato chips you buy in Ontario, anyways, I'm 95% sure on this. The potatoes are Canadian. The manufacturing facilities in Canada, the bags are produced in Canada. Pretty well the whole product is produced in Canada, but it's an American company that owns it. So then my
Mhm.
argument to this was, well, you better stop drinking Tim Hortons. You
Yeah.
better stop drinking Starbucks, right? Because Starbucks, their cups aren't produced in Canada. The coffee's not purchased from Canada, right? The equipment's not purchased from Canada. Like, what are we doing here, guys? Like, we're I'm gonna buy from Starbucks. You know why? Because those are Canadian jobs. I'm not going to stop buying it. Maybe I'm gonna look on Amazon to see where the hell the product's coming from, and now if I want to give my fair shake here, but I'm also gonna ask these questions too because someone posted this the other day: $6.99 strawberries made in Canada, $2.99 strawberries made in the U.S. I'm
US.
gonna
Thanks.
pretty well tell you, people are buying the $2.99
Give me the
strawberries.
cheaper. Give me the cheaper.
Yeah, they're
100%.
drawing a line. Drawing a line.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody is making a stand until it affects their wallet.
That's
And this
exactly
is the economy runs the voters. But anyways, that's all because it proves that some people know what's going on. And even myself, don't get me wrong, I might know a little bit more than the average person because I'm interested in it. But I can still tell you, I have no idea what's going to happen, right? I have no money. I took most of my money out of the stock market. Why? Uncertainty,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
That's what
I
everybody hates
took
is
my money out
uncertainty.
of the stock market too. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was really concerned that my stocks were gonna crash. Uh, so yeah, I pulled them for sure off of my
Yeah.
stocks.